Well, welcome, 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 SHE-ness Tribe. I'm Roya Mattis, the creator of SHE-ness Tribe, and today is one of my passion points. Excuse me while I adjust myself. Today is one of the passion points I love to talk about. But first, let's talk about what it is we're doing together. Here at SHE-ness Tribe, we are missioned to unification, unifying fully with self. Have you been driving as a high-achieving woman mostly in the winning state, in the achieving state, in the focus on the tasks, and have forgotten to tap into the softer side of yourself, the one that knew how to play, to enjoy, to be free, to be held, to let go, to breathe deeply and just let things flow? Well, we are helping high achieving women access that side of themselves they've been neglecting, and there are pain points from that neglection. So unifying fully to self. And then when we more are apt and able to fully unify to ourself, which is different for every she, embracing the freedom of she-ness, your own unique she, then you can accept other women and really work on eliminating competing and comparing and begin collecting. And then to better unify with our men, we have been shaming and blaming each other, and we have been unknowingly stopping the joy that is our own birthright. Today, we're going to focus on 5 C's, creating a movement to achieve your mission. Creating a movement to achieve your mission with 5 C's. As a leader for the last 20 years, and now as a national sales director, my other life, I've been able to achieve the top echelon of the company in position, meaning out of about 400 to 600,000 independent consultants in a direct sales company, I'm one of 144 national sales directors and have the privilege of being in the museum and have helped more women than most in the business be able to achieve a level of whatever it is they're looking for. And some people want a little and some people want a lot, and to be able to create movements. One thing I'm known for actually in our in that part of my life is the ability to create a movement. And the reason I'm proud about that is because I believe that for the individual that's a part of it, each person goes further faster when you create a movement. It's like standing in a space of magic, of magical destiny. I want you to imagine geese flying. They fly what? They fly in formation. Why? Because it's easier on each individual goose, and they go further faster when they are positioned. Some people go to the front, and some geese are in the front and some in the back, and then they switch. So it doesn't mean that you're always on the front end. In fact, an incredible leader shines the light on other people, but they also paint a vision of where people are going and create a community of making that happen, and a collection of incredible minds where they don't compete and they don't compare, but they do collect and they celebrate. So I have a course on creating a movement and to get your voice out there, your mission out there in a way that people want to follow, they attach to, and they benefit from individually and collectively. So we're going to go over 3 of the 5 C's today. And if you want to know more about it, I love to serve. It's one of my favorite things. I work a lot in my DMs on Instagram under SHE-ness Tribe on Instagram, and I'll be happy to dive deeper with you on that. It's a total love and a passion of mine, and it's my pleasure. So the first of the 5 C's that we're going to talk about today is community. How do you create a community? I'm going to give you some specifics today on community creation. And if you've got any questions or additions, put in the comments below, and I'm here to serve you on this mission. You know, you guys, whether you are moving a group of women in or men or both in work, or you're creating a movement in a school, or you're creating a movement in your community, or you're creating a movement in your household, you want everyone to start doing less electronics, whatever it might be. This is about creating a movement, creating a vision. You have a mission in mind. Maybe you want to lead your family to more spiritual spaces. Maybe you want to lead the community to more give back, to taking care of the elderly, whatever it might be. So, how do you create the feeling of community? One of the things is people feel more like a collection when they actually have language that they only know between each other. So, creating a community has to do with language. Yeah. What are special things that you guys say? What are some trademark signature um, statements? Or maybe you've made something up and it's an inside joke that you all have and you talk about it over and over again. Do you know that also feels like community when you have nicknames? Yeah. People feel a part of something when they're not even called by their birth name. Well, think about it. In a family, you have nicknames for each other, the people you're closest to, right? Well, in my community, we are known for our nicknames. And in fact, we take it very seriously. And the nickname calls the best out in that person that they personally connect to. So when you call that name, you're calling the best in that person. And it's just like a subliminal messaging. Oh, yeah, I am that. And therefore, I'm going to show up that way. So you're calling the individual and you're collectively feeling more like a family with nicknames. Another thing that makes people feel more like a unity, a community, is garb. Yeah, wearing similar things. Whenever we go to events, we pick something that we all kind of show up in that makes us look like a sports team. Why do sports teams wear the same things? They know that they're a collective community. They're on the same mission together to win whatever that is. So garb brings you together. This next thing is a welcoming committee. As you grow, you need to have people that are on the forefront saying, hey, welcome to our community. We're so happy you're here. So you can grow big and feel small. So there are gifted people around you that are amazing at making people feel important. Make them a part of your welcoming committee and then pair them into individual small groups where they're taken care of, or a pairing of somebody that they already have something in common with that allow them to feel connected right away and not like an outcast. The next thing is clear messaging. Your message needs to be something in common language that anybody that just joins into can understand. So don't make it a part of your business dialogue. Like if I have certain words, like in ours, it's like red jacket, team leader, outside world doesn't know what that means. So what is clear communication of a singular focus that everybody can attach to, play in, and feel a part of and contribute to, small or large? Give them places to contribute. Everyone wants to feel important. And when there's a clear message and there's specific spaces that you as the visionary have dictated that would make a difference, and asking them and giving them the freedom to play in any of those places and knowing they make a difference, clear messaging creates community. So again, everyone having a place for everyone to feel important. And finally, celebration. Celebration of small and large accomplishments. Stepping stones. People will do more when they feel like they can, when they gain confidence in the process and they know that they're being noticed. So in community, notice the little things and speak them and share them and recognize them, and then raise the bar for high things. When you're creating a movement of big mission too, don't forget, keep the bar high, because when you keep the bar high, you keep the winners. When you lower the bar, you keep the whiners. And trust me, less with a lot of winners, less people with a lot of winners versus a ton of people with a lot of whiners is a lot less work and a lot more fun, you guys. I mean, those of you that creative movement, wouldn't you agree? Less, but the best is a lot more fun, and you get more done in a community than a bunch of whiners wanting to hang around. The last thing I'm going to point out to you when I'm talking about small wins and making each person feel important, if you have the opportunity for gathering, whether it is virtually or in person, creating eye contact with each individual. So in the virtual stage, I would like to encourage you to create a community of expectation where people put their cameras on, where they know when we show up together, I get energy because you're giving me energy. I get energy because you are there present. I get your eyeballs. I get your reactions. I get your breathing. I get you. I don't get a screen by itself. I get two-dimensional you. Two-dimensional you brings vibrant me. No dimensional you brings less of me. So when I'm going to bring it, I need you to bring it back so we can match our energy. So creating that community of knowing cameras are on. And if you're in person, you set a space of prestige where people can sit and people are being greeted and they don't have to wonder, where should I go? It is clear and evident. And as you begin to share and as you begin to speak, put your eyes on each person and try to speak the name during your sentences, during your shout outs, during your stories, of each person's name at some point. So some people you're going to say because of recognition. Some people you're not. Some people you just want to say, hey, right, Susie, thank you for being, whoa, you're looking extra sharp, John. You know, whatever it is, you're just putting their names out there so they know, oh my God, he recognized that I was their community, the first C. The second C is connection. Creating connection happens by breaking bread together. It's societally predisposed. When people eat together, they bond together. When you have meals, when you have coffee, when you have time together, you bond together. So don't miss the opportunity to show up early and to go get a bite to eat, or to just gather before entering a big conference, for example. You guys all show up at one meeting space. Yeah, you can go in and get your seats or get your seats in the assigned place all together, but that doesn't create togetherness. So togetherness happens when you do meetup, walk in collectively, wearing same garb and paraphernalia, high-fiving from a distance if you need to, fist bump, whatever it is, in your, now with COVID, in your group, and then going in together. Having lunch breaks where you don't just go off and think ahead as the leader. Where are we all going to eat? How is this all going to happen? Who needs to pre-order the food and have it delivered so that we're all breaking bread together? This is when bonding occurs. For online hangouts, what if you design a pre-hangout with your people? That way everyone's there and early. Let's say you're attending something online. Hey, you guys, we're going to collect there 15 minutes early. And in that 15 minutes, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I heard such and such happen. I saw this on Facebook. What's been different? And you just like share one or two quick little nuggets before the event starts with each other on personal level, remembering that they need to share more than you as the leader. You're instigating those conversations, okay? Connection on a human level. Remembering their kids' names, writing it down in your contacts if you need to, and their significant others' names. Who's important to them that you need to remember on a regular basis? If it's their dog, write down their dog. But when you have conversations with them, what is their love language? Put that next to the front of their last name. So as soon as you talk to them, you know, who am I talking to? Whether you're in love language or you're into Enneagram or whatever you're into, put a little statement next to their last name. So every time you talk to them, you're in that mode of connection in the way that that person speaks, hears language. And spotlighting them again on a human level. Once a year, we have a newsletter that goes out that celebrates the things that have happened in their intimate lives. So weddings and babies and graduations and new houses and, you name it, the personal things that are important to them. We highlight them and their family members that have been involved in it, so that as a human, they are being seen. Create pods of people taking care of each other with leaders inside the leadership. So you have people that are hungry to lead, but they already came in as leaders, but maybe they haven't been in this long enough to know a lot, or they know a little enough and be great at making people feel important. make pods of people. Okay, you're in charge of 5 people, you're in charge of 5 people, you're in charge of 5 people. So as I give the message, you go into your own private community, be it like a stream in Facebook, a message stream in Facebook, Boxer, text, whatever they can use. And that leader is the one that connects with you the most. And then they go and connect with the others by going, okay, you guys, what did you all have questions about what we learned today? Or who's going to commit to what, or who needs extra support right now, or hey, here's a motivational quote that I was thinking that went along with where we're at right now in our mission. They're going to come up with brilliant things that you would never even dream about. And you'll go, oh my God, I love that I collected you. You are so flipping brilliant. I love those moments. I love those moments. And because I would often create, well, that's in the next step. Okay. And so finally, recognition creates connection. Recognition and allowing them to be noticed. Like, how do you affirm? If you don't know how to affirm people, practice it. Get specific. People not only want to hear the sound of their name or their nickname, but they want to be like seen that you understand that they've shown up and that they are giving effort. So create wins and create recognition. And do it in different formats. Some people like to see their name in print. Some people like to hear it. Some people like a silent gift that's sent in the mail to them. Surprise things that happens. Maybe it's not your gifting. Maybe you need to access different people you've collected that think of those things and make them a part of the recognition committee. The third C that we're going to go over today, the third C is competition. The third C is competition. Thank you. Hi, Acri. Good to see you. Jamie, thank you for your comment. Less is best. It's so true. We can feel like we have to have 10,000 people in our following on our Instagram page, or we have to have 1,000, or we have to have 100 people in our organization for it to matter. I have always gotten a lot of results from a little people because we keep the foundation strong, we keep the training clear, and we keep this community that we're talking about, creating a movement, having a vision, playing a space that people can play into, that allows people to shine their best. And I don't know about you, but I would rather have this many people having this much gifting in their life than this many people having this much gifting in their life. And it's not that you can't have this many people, because once you put these systems in place that I'm talking about, you can grow to this many people getting this much. I just want to give you permission to start where you're at and know that they can gain a lot even when you're little and you're just starting your movement. Okay, competition. Set up amongst each other individual and mini team competitions and make it normal and make it awesome that there is competition. Make it fun, make it exciting, make it a thing that you guys are known for, because women in general a lot of times don't feel as comfortable, not all women, but some, as comfortable competing with each other. So you make it a thing, like, hey, this one and this one, you guys are like neck and neck right now. I want to see who's going to look at each other in the eye, face each other. Who's going to beat who? You tell Susie you're going to beat her. You tell Jill you're going to beat her. Like, you guys get after each other. I want to know, I want to see who wins, blah, 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 next week. Competition. Also, when you create mini teams of competing against each other with team captains and co-captains in those mini teams, you'll be surprised. People do more for other people than they will do for themselves. So for those that aren't into competing and winning for self, put teams together within your organization and watch them rise, because they don't want to let their team down. They're going to play at their personal best. Breaking records. People love to hear about being the first of something. So find something to be the first of, or find something your organization is going to do for the first time. People love to break records. Talk about it loudly. Talk about it often. Clear, crystal visualization on the subject where you're painting to the nuance as time goes on, and put a specific deadline to it. What significant moment is this celebration going to happen? Who's going to be there? What's it going to look like? How are they going to be celebrated? And who is going and what's going to come significantly as far as growth, prosperity from this obtainment, or give back to the community from this win? Pick others to outwardly or privately compete with yourself. Things that you want to do, don't want to do, but you know are necessary. Put yourself out there as the leader to do it in front of your group, to have people compete with you, or for you to spotlight with them your personal results. Track somebody that motivates you, not somebody that makes you feel like you're never enough. If you feel like you're never enough, stop it. Close that door and don't look there for a while until you build your self-confidence for a while. You have to put blinders on and tunnel vision for your mission and your vision. When you compare your beginning to somebody else's middle, you will fail every single time, and you will feel like you're never going to catch up and never be enough. Everybody starts at the beginning. It's just that we don't see the beginnings for most people because they're not spotlighted enough, because they didn't earn that space. Earn the space to be spotlighted, and that means the willingness to start at the beginning. Here's another thing that was really poignant to me. I heard Brendon Burchard share about his coaching for Oprah with her O channel. It was not doing well when she first went out, and he went in and coached her, and he said, here's the thing. If you've had success in one grand area, you feel like this unwillingness to do what you did when you weren't anybody. And now that you are somebody, you feel this entitlement. But when you're starting over with something new, there's no entitlement anymore. You have to be the person you were when you were hungry and scrappy. And the willingness to start over again is a championship mentality, you guys. That is not for the whiners or the losers. That is for the winners. So I don't care where you are. If you are starting from scratch again, if you're doing something new and you're a fish out of water, the willingness to be scrappy, the willingness to do what you did in the beginning, the willingness to let your ego go aside and compete where you're at, not where you want to be, but where you're at next, lets you to have a stepping stone of your next level of competition. Competition is healthy, and generate pride, you guys. Generate pride in being whatever you are today. Because you can talk big about this is where we're going, this is where we're at right now, but here's where we're going. I remember in the very beginning, before I had any accolades for anything I did with my business, it didn't matter where I was, it mattered where I was going. Most people don't care where you are. They matter where you visualize you're going, because do you know that most people have nothing big to follow, nothing big to dream about? They're just checking a box and they're doing a task. And they're waking up and they're going through their hamster wheel of their life, and they're exhausted and their feet hit the floor. They go to bed, their feet hit the floor the next morning, and they do it again. But they want out of that mundane, and they're out of that mundane could be your vision, your creation, your movement that could be nothing right now, but in here and in here. And so I remember saying to people in the very beginning, before I had any kind of accolades, I would say, okay, this is where we are, but this is where we're going. And I'm looking for a few great people to go there with me. This is the beginning. You're going to be able to say, I was a part of something when it was nothing but an idea. I was part of something when it was nothing but a dream. And because I decided to believe in something bigger than myself, this humongous thing has happened. I mean, I have chills all over me, because when you talk about the vision, like with SHE-ness, like I have a vision, you guys, that at some point we're going to have a country full of women and men going, oh my gosh, we are so grateful that we get to access both energies of ourselves, and we get to be okay being not just one thing, but many things, and whatever it is that's needed in the moment that we're in at that time, that it's more congruent to ourselves than just being linear and denying these sections that we think are incongruent to what we ought to be, or what we told, who we said we were. And now our relationship with self is so centered. We finally get to access the joy from the work that we do. We finally get to eliminate guilt from parenting. I finally feel like I get to enjoy the relationship that I'm in. I'm so happy. I'm not pretending to be happy. I'm really fulfilled filled in that relationship. When I go to bed at night, I don't feel lonely or unseen anymore. When I wake up in the morning, I feel full of life. And I get to have different dances and spaces in my life. I get to have dances and spaces where I'm serious. I get to have dances and spaces when I'm silly, and I get to be held, and I get to be in charge. I see the country shifting. But today we start out with a little group that goes, gosh, yeah, I don't quite know what it is yet, but I'm here for it. I'm here for this unity thing. Because it starts with a dream, and you got to feed that dream to the people that are listening. And maybe it's just one, and then you get two, and then you get three quality humans that you get to highlight, dance your crazy dance with, and dream with, and then go to a space and go, okay, today it's just a few of us. I always got space that was a little bit bigger than I could fill. And I know that's not normal for people. People say, like, make it look crowded. Well, I wanted to make it known that this is where we're starting, you guys, but this room here is going to be filled to where we're going to have to get another size room and another size room and another size room. Always leave room for growth. Even if you're at the top, you've got to leave room for bigger. You got to compete against yourself once you get to the top. When you get to the top, don't you dare look to the side or to the bottom, because you're creating the next level of the top. The next level of the top that's not even been created until you create it. And that's what you get to talk about once you're big. I have two more spaces to that C, but I feel like I've given you enough to chew on today to create your beginnings of your movement, of your richness, of the reason that God or the higher power in the universe put you here. They're waiting on you to be courageous enough to say, I might not be enough for everything, but I am enough for this thing. And it's not waiting to be enough, you guys. It's what you do with your enoughness today. It's what you do with your enoughness that you've been given to then be able to be the enoughness for the next thing you've been given, and to collect those great people that are just around the edges of you leaning in to the vision that's already in your heart. It's the courage to do it. Everybody starts afraid. It's always hard before it's easy. It's always hard before it's easy. You just have to get up one more time, then you fall down. Not a million times, not 1,000 times, not even 10 times. The way to avoid failure and to get your movement going is the formula to never fail is to get up one more time, then you fall down just once. May your efforts be richly blessed, and may you have clarity in your vision. And if you don't, talk to someone like me to help you narrow it, because a confused mind does nothing. And once you have a vision, you can create a movement. And once you have a movement, you can change the world for the better. God bless you. Have a fabulous day, SHE-ness tribe. I love this time with you. And if you love this, pass it on and ask people to watch it too. Bye for now.